Hello, I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today, the top 10 things you won't believe you can actually major in. There are a lot of different options about what to study in college. Schools have hundreds, maybe thousands of majors, and they're adding new ones all the time. With a plethora of choices, some of them are bound to seem a bit weird. As far as we know, underwater basket weaving is still a joke, but some of the ones we're looking at in today's video are almost as funny. Look, and just before we get started, I do want to say I'm sorry if anything in this article offends people actually studying these, but come on, you knew what you were getting into when you signed up. Alright, so let's crack on with today's video, looking at the strangest things you can actually major in. Number 10. Turfgrass Management. We tend to take the grass for granted. It just grows on its own, right? Well, yes, it totally does, but it also doesn't exactly grow the way that we want it to. If you want a fantastic example of grass that has just been left totally unchecked, well, the Amazon rainforest would be that example, and you probably don't want that many species living in your backyard. So there are very detailed methods that you can use to make grass look and feel the way you want it to. And so if you're passionate about grass, so passionate in fact that you want to devote your life to it, maybe consider becoming a major in turfgrass management. We can guarantee grass is easier to manage than people are. It will never disagree with you and will do exactly what you want as long as you care for it. Apparently though, opportunities do abound in this field with such diverse career options as lawn management, athletic field management, and golf course management. And managing the grass on athletic fields and golf courses, that pretty much makes you a professional athlete, or at least as close as you are going to get. Number 9. Bagpipes. Although it is rare at many schools, it's not unheard of for someone to major in some sort of music. If you are very advanced, if it's your passion, and you are good enough to make a living with it, then, why not? If you are really good at the violin and practice all the time, you could maybe even get a job in an orchestra. However, there are other instruments that are much less focused on, and one would absolutely be the bagpipes. A major in bagpipe music might sound like a bit of a practical joke, but Carnegie Mellon, an elite academic school, mind you, actually has a specific program for it. In 2009, there was exactly one graduating bagpipe major, and it seems like being the only one might work out well. Nick Hudson, the lone bagpipe major, made $1,000 playing in bars on St. Patrick's Day alone. Now, if only it could be St. Patrick's Day every day of the year, well, he would be rich. Number 8. Ranch management. So what's one of the few things you can do today without having to go to college? Raising livestock would probably be one of those things that you think you'd learn from your parents or, on the job. Well, apparently that is not always the case. At Texas Christian University, you can actually get a major in ranch management. Indeed, this is something that we probably never thought would be taught in a classroom. In the past, that would be something passed down from generation to generation, but we guess some people whose parents weren't ranchers have decided that that's what they want to do with their lives. They want to ranch. And apparently, ranch management has a demand and people are willing to pay lots and lots of dollars to learn how to do it. Number 7. Puppetry. Drama has long been harassed as a rather useless major. You aren't going to make any money in the theatre unless you're a big star, and chances are you're not going to be a big star. Especially since the theatre seems pretty much dead, with the exception of Hamilton. Indeed, this is one of the careers that your parents are certainly going to try and talk you out of. With the old line, well, why don't you try and major in something, useful? Maybe you can hold on to the hope that you can make a decent living acting in commercials. Probably not. But maybe there's hope. You could hold on to it. Well, if you want to make your relatives even more confused, why not major specifically in puppetry? According to the website for the University of Connecticut that's trying to get you to sign up, graduates of the program work in theaters around the world. But this isn't something that's really going to matter to your judgmental Aunt Martha. Majoring in puppetry is a surefire way to piss off your relatives, and therefore probably an excellent choice. Number 6. Canadian studies. There's been a critique of traditional Western education that it draws topics primarily from the West, specifically Europe and America. Lots of schools are now trying to focus more on the study of other countries, like those in Latin America and Asia. Learning about different parts of the world is considered an important part of a rounded education, and we'd totally agree it absolutely is. If you have a real passion for a particular exotic locale, it probably won't kill you to major or minor in its studies. One of those exotic locales offered as a major by the University of Vermont is Canadian studies. Yes, you can major in the study of the country probably the most similar to the United States. It's literally an hour's drive from the classroom in which you're studying it. Well, I suppose the plus side of that is there'll be frequent field trips. Number 5. bakery science. Culinary school is not that weird of a concept. You go there to learn all the different ways to cook, and then maybe you get a low-paying, high-stress job in a restaurant. But the advantage of it is that you learn all sorts of different ways to cook. At Kansas State, though, you can decide to instead focus on one of the most common ways to make food taste better, and of course, that's baking. You can concentrate on either production management or cereal chemistry. Alright, well, we guess this is a bit different from just a cooking degree, and you might get a job in the food production industry, but still, I mean, come on, cereal chemistry, who bakes their cereal? Now, we know that's not exactly what it means, but that's what it sounds like, and I like making things seem as ridiculous as possible. I mean, do we really need some pinhead professor telling us how to pour our frosted flakes? Number 4, bowling industry management. That's right, this entry is not actually a joke. This is an actual major at an actual college that you can actually major in actuality. If you thought the coolest people in the Big Lebowski were the people working at the alley, this major might be right up your street. Most people in business get more general degrees than this, but if you know what you want, maybe you should get really specific, like a degree in bowling industry management. The only college with this option is Vincennes University in Indiana, and if you get bored, take advantage of their on-site 18-lane bowling alley. That's right, if you need to relax after class, head on over and knock down some pins. On second thought, this degree doesn't actually sound that bad. Number 3, winemaking. People, as a general rule, like alcohol. Most adults drink at least once in a while, so there's probably going to continually be jobs for those people who make it. But is going to college really necessary to make wine? Well, apparently some colleges actually think so. In order to fancy it up even further, colleges actually call these programs enology, which means the study of wine. Oh, doesn't it sound so sophisticated? Well, what this will allow you to get is an intensive knowledge of what goes into making wine at the age of 18 or so, which we're sure won't be abused in a country where the drinking age is 21. Number 2, folklore and mythology. It's fascinating and useful to study other cultures. One of the most interesting things to study about other cultures is their mythology. You can learn a lot about a society from studying their folklore. Yep, that's a great thing to read about in your spare time. Great, but I mean, surely this isn't actually a major anywhere, right? At least never at a school you've heard of. Well, yes, it does exist, and it's probably at a university you've heard of, because that university would be Harvard. That's right, the college everyone thinks of when they think of prestigious has a major in folklore and mythology. Although the good news is that you can probably still get a good job with it as long as you emphasize where you got the major. Can you imagine the conversation? So what did you major in? Folklore and mythology, but Harvard. Can you start Monday? At least that's how I'm going to assume it works when you've got a degree from Harvard. Number 1, whatever you want. Turns out some colleges realize students might have interests that don't really fit neatly within one college major. So let's give them the option to double major or maybe even triple major. Or if that doesn't work, some of them just let kids make up their own major. At several universities, there exists what is called a student-designed major. The student decides what to call it, and they get to put that on their diploma if they do what the college tells them to do, and they get through all of their classes. Now, of course, the college does have to approve what you want to study, but you could probably persuade them that a lot of different things would fly. So I really hope you found that video interesting. If you did, please do hit that thumbs up button below, and do not forget to subscribe. We've got brand new videos just like this every day of the week. Also, over there on the right, videos from the archives, definitely worth checking out. And as always, thank you for watching.